What did you else watch, Garn?
Well, Joey.
What you did Fear and Hunger?
Yeah, I did Fear and Hunger as well.
Oh, you played. What else did you play or read?
I watched Breaking Bad.
Okay. I can't believe you never watched Breaking Bad.
Never.
What the heck?
And I will say that was easily one of the best first episodes to a show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking nuts. That pilot is crazy.
What a fucking
What an
pilot
amazing
episode.
first pilot.
So
I did find it funny how the first episode literally ends with like just Walter just being a Rizzler. but yeah, I mean, like the way that it just like I knew the basic premise of the show, right? Of the whole thing of like, but the thing is, I didn't know about like Walter White's backstory of like how I knew he was a chemistry teacher, but I didn't know why he eventually became, to start making, the drugs. Yeah. So it was really cool to like see his life at that point of being like, he's like down in the dumps with his job and like, he's, the students laugh at him. He hates his job, blah, blah. And then when the doctor was like, you've got however many months to live. And he was just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make some drugs. I was just like, let's go. But no, it's so cool because it's like it kind of Tarantino's you at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it immediately just hooks you in with this like really intense chase scene, which is like really well shot, really cool, and then it just like cuts to the 6 weeks late.
He's in the desert, right?
Yeah, and then it cuts to the 6 weeks earlier, and you're just like, what the fuck happened? I need to know. And yeah, the whole progression and I guess reasoning for it all, it made sense. Like logically, it made total sense of why Walter decided to go down that route because he's like has a terminal illness. He wants to like go out with a bang, I guess.
Yeah.
But man, just some of those like scenes were just so intense. Like when he throws the red phosphorus in the pan and kills the two guys. I was just like, girl, I fucking
that was in episode 1.
That's episode 1.
I completely forgot that was. I thought that was episode like 2 or 3 or something like that.
But that's the thing. It's like this first episode was so jam-packed with so many things happening, like not just in terms of like plot progression, but also just like Walter's character. Like kind of you can see Walter's character grow just within one episode. It literally felt like I watched like 3 or 4 episodes at once.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking fantastic.
Are you going to continue watching?
Oh, 100%.
Was there a reason you never watched Breaking Bad? Or
it's just one of those shows where like
you just hear so much about it.
I hear so much about it, and also I was like, well, I would like to kind of like binge this show. And at the time, it was still kind of airing. So I was like, I'll wait till it's finished airing. And then I guess just never got around to it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I finally got around to it. Now I can binge it. So,
yeah. Do you think you're going to continue it straight away, or
I would like to?
Did you watch this with Aki or just by yourself?
Just by myself because I was like, I was actually really tempted to just off camera just continue watching it.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I think Aki would enjoy it too. So I think I'm gonna watch episode 1 with her again.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna binge it.
There's like not a single bad moment in the show.
Yeah.
It's every single season, every episode is just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're starting off like that, I can't imagine how good it's gonna get.
What was the moment that you got like hooked?
The moment I got hooked, I would say, is definitely when I think it was the moment where like Walter confronts Jesse for the first time.
Right.
Like because he's at like the meth house like crime scene with his like brother-in-law or whatever it is, Hank.
Yeah.
And then he like sees Jesse like jumping out after he's finished the Rizzling.
The Rizzling. For fuck's sake, Joey.
After he finished the Gat 9000.
Okay,
And then he follows him home, and then he's like, like, make meth with me or I'm taking you to the police. And Jesse's like, what?
Yeah.
And I was also like, what? And then like, he's talking about like, this is a heating flask. And he's like, I don't use that in my craft. I use chili powder. And I'm like, Jesse, you fucking idiot. It's like, that's not good. And then that whole montage where they're like in the RV in the desert and he's just like, he's just cooking.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, this is like pure glass. Like, this is like pure glass grade. How did you do this? And it's like, it's basic chemistry. I'm like, fuck yeah. There's just so many like cool one-liners and just like moments that you really get to see just like the character growing in real time and in like a really logical way, which I think is like super cool. But like, I was also wondering like, with the way that the episode is set up is like, it kind of tricks you in a sense, because up until a certain point, until like Jesse and Walter start like actually cooking for the first time, you think like everything's kind of going smoothly. You're like, I'm sure something is going to happen that will put them in danger, because you get reminded of that first scene that you see, right? So the entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, so how the hell did it end up becoming like the beginning part? And then when it actually happened, I was like, oh, okay, that's genius.
Yeah,
like, that's so good.
I mean, I'm wondering how much time they must have put into planning this first episode.
I don't know.
It is so dense to the fact that you're describing it, and I'm like, oh, in my mind, I thought that happened in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because to me, it was just like so much is condensed into such a short time frame. They establish so much about the characters and also hook you with the stakes, and because I think the biggest thing that hooks you immediately was like he has this problem that he has to solve. He has like wait, what did it end on before I start talking? Actually,
it ended on
him in the desert. Right?
Yeah, so it ended on so the beginning scene opens up and it cuts away when like he hears the sirens coming, and he expects that he's gonna be confronted by the police, so he's like waiting with the gun.
Yeah.
And then when it actually happens in the second half, you realize that, oh, it's not the police that's coming, it's a bunch of firefighters. And they just drive past.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right. And then Jesse wakes up and he's like, what the fuck happened? And then he somehow makes it home. His wife asks, where have you been? And then he just, without saying anything, just starts having sex with her. Well, that's how the episode ends.
I mean, it's supposed to be like, because now he's like rock hard, because he's like feels like, oh, he's finally living life.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like such a cool way to like show that like character progression, you know, like rather than like getting the character to do like this whole monologue about like what happened. It's just like, no, actions are going to speak louder than words. Like you get to see just within that first episode, the difference in self-confidence after he's gone through all of that. And like, that's just a cool way to show character progression in like less than an hour.
You'll like the show a lot.
Yeah, you will like the show a lot.
Thoroughly, like I legitimately think that might be one of the best first episodes to a TV show I've ever seen.
It continues to be the best episode and just the best one of the best TV shows of all time.
It's crazy how it like just doesn't fall off.
No,
it stays that good. For
okay,
and it just
seasons.
gets better and better and better and better.
I think like a lot of people like there's
to me
like masterpiece episodes later on.
To me, like I feel like for the longest time, Breaking Bad for me was kind of like Hunter x Hunter, where I'd heard so much about it that just from hearing what everybody else was saying about it, I was like, that sounds like a show I'm going to enjoy, and I'm probably going to.
Yeah.
And then when I actually went and watched it, I was like,
aren't you glad we forced you to watch it?
Yeah, with this one, yes.
Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Only the most critically acclaimed TV show of all time.
God, Joey. Oh no, you have to watch your 5-course meal of the best TV show ever made.
Yeah.
Like, oh, woe is me.
No, but you guys know me. There was a chance I might not have liked it.
No, he does not. I don't know a single person that watched it didn't like it.
Okay.
I mean,
luckily I'm not that.
It seems insane to me now that I think this is true. Where the original plan was
they thought it was going to bomb.
They thought it was going to bomb, and Jesse was going to like be written off in the
first episode or two,
first season, I think season
finale.
Shit. Yeah, but because Aaron Paul's portrayal of him made him so fucking likable.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that Jesse is a major character throughout the entire season of Breaking Bad. And it's insane to think that after viewing that first episode, the original plan was to be like, nah, he dies,
I mean, I could see why. Because they try to make him annoying.
Yeah.
But he
almost dies in the first episode.
He just comes off as so endearing.
Yeah, it is.
And because I think when the show was coming out, there was another show out around the same time about a pregnant mom who had to sell weed. And I think there was like a lot of, I think when they were originally going to make the show, there's a lot of concern that they thought that this show's just not going to do well because there's a show, it's kind of the same premise that's already kind of doing well.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be, one of the best TV shows of all time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And a very iconic role of Walter.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I don't think it did like properly pop off in popularity after the first season. It felt like it was like 3 seasons in or something.
I started watching 3 seasons in.
Yeah.
And then the hype around like weekly around the final season was immense.
Yeah.
It was I was like 18 at the time. I remember that every week it was all everyone would talk about. I was like, are you watching Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
So it's completely finished now?
Yeah, it's completely finished.
So 5 seasons, right?
5 seasons. very dense.
Okay.
You know, it's the complete story and a definite ending as well.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the rest of it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. Like more than I thought I was going to. Like I had a feeling I was going to enjoy it just from what I heard, but that was like far better than what I thought.
It's just peak.
It's just fucking peak.
It's just so good.
Amazing storytelling.